What's going on, family? It's Black Still Entertainment Radio, home of the independent artists, and I want to welcome you to another episode of the 38th Village Podcast. And today, we're going to be talking about something that's very important that I think that everybody should know about. Everybody should pay attention to, because it's very important to manage it well. Now, what I want to talk about today is time. Time is your most important resource. Good morning, sis. Time is your most important resource. If you understand that, you should be good. And you have to respect it. You should respect your time and make sure that everybody else do as well. Excuse me. Now, I thought about this topic. Like I tell a lot of people, I don't come up with my topics almost until the last minute. Most of the time, it's a situation that happens during the day, during the morning, because, I'm up finally get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. And from that time until I do the podcast, believe it or not, a lot of things happen. A lot of things happen. And thank you very much. A lot of things happen from 6 a.m. until 11 a.m. It's only 5 hours, but a lot of things can happen in them hours. And you have to pay attention to what you do with your time. I don't remember the exact saying, but it's something like, if you don't control your time, somebody else will. Something like that. It goes something like that. If anybody know the correct way of saying it, put it down in the comments. But if you don't control your time, somebody else will. And basically what that is like, and another thing is said along with that is, good morning, Geneva. Good morning, Henrietta. If they said, if you don't take care of your time, like somebody that basically what it is if people that really don't have nothing to do, they're going to be the ones that really waste your time. They're going to be the ones that try to do all the unnecessary. Yo, come smoke with me. Come do this. Yo, come have a drink. I have other things to do. And like Drake said, while all my friends are at the club partying, I'm making the songs they party to. They not getting paid. They losing money by being in the club. They losing money, and he's making money. It's all about how you deal with your time. And a lot of people let people that have nothing to do, that really have no motivation, no aspiration to do anything, take up all of their time. And that's no good, because how you going to do what you got to do? I know I've been plenty of times you were thinking about doing something, and then all of a sudden somebody come do this with me, whatever, and you neglect what you supposed to have did. Call me to the barbershop. Call me to the barbershop. I'm gonna come sit there and watch you get a haircut. But people do it. Come into the beauty parlor. Come to watch you get your hair done or your nails done or whatever the case may be. You allowed that, though. You can't allow people to take your time. Your time is very important. Very important. That's something that you can never get back. You can never get time back. Never. So you should really manage that wisely. You should manage that wisely. Because if you're trying to do something with your life and you constantly going off the road, off the path, you'll never get there. You'll never get there. And you can't allow people to do it, because it's like I said in the previous episode, The devil is always working hard to try to stop you from doing something positive or doing something, period. Because why? Why should you be so happy? He don't want you to be happy. So if you sit there and you allow somebody to take your time and do basically something that they want to do or something that they need to do, how are you getting your stuff done? It's messed up that when you're trying to do something positive or do something with your life, you're going to have to stop hanging with the same people all the time. You're going to have to stop hanging with the same people all the time. And it's sad because, these are your friends. This is your family. But if you really trying to do something and you constantly going elsewhere, you're not going to get it done, man. You're not going to get it done. And you're never going to get that time back. You're never going to get that time back. Never. You can never. Like people say, well, listen, I'm trying to make up some sleep. How? You already lost that sleep. You already lost that time. It's not coming back. You just getting new sleep or new time. You're not going to ever get it back. You can't allow people to take your time. You got to keep pushing. And again, like I said, it's sad that you're going to have to cut off some people because everybody's not on the same journey as you. No, everybody's not going to be on the same journey. So they got their path. They might not even be going anywhere. But I had to learn the hard way. Being on the block, hanging with the same people, selling weed, all that type of stuff. And I'm like, yo, man, I cannot do this for the rest of my life. I can't do this for the rest of my life. Yes, I'm making a little bit of money because it's really just a little bit of money if you're still on the block. You're really not making no money. Especially when it's 5 other people or 10 other people on the block doing the same thing. You're really not making no money. So I had to learn for myself, like, yo, I really can't do this for the rest of my life, so I got to do something different. And I stayed away from the block and started doing some things. And I noticed one thing is that a lot of people are still on the block. A lot of people are still on the block, and when you leave, you could come back 10 years later and you're going to see some of them same people still on the block. They had no plans. And you're going to let somebody like that come in and mess up your plans? How smart is that? You can't let nobody take your time. Time is very important. Very important. You got to go to a meeting. You got to do something. You got to go to work. Anything. There's always going to be something, but the devil's always working. So it might be some things is out of your control. You might run into an idiot that crash into you, especially here in Atlanta. These people can't drive. But somebody crash into you, and now you stuck on the side of the road and can't get to work, or can't get to this meeting, or can't get to this appointment, or whatever the situation is. You just can't make it. Now, those things you can't control. You know what I mean? You can't control these things. But when you can control it, you have to. Because if you don't, somebody else sure will try. Somebody else sure will try. And this is something you can't get back. So you have to learn how to manage it. Make a schedule. Say, this is what I'm going to do at this time no matter what. This is what I'm going to do this time no matter what. Whenever I'm not doing things with my family, far as taking people to work, because, like I said in the previous episode, I'm the only one who drives in my house. For now. My son's working on it, so he's going to help me out. But other than driving people places, taking my kids places, me and my wife hanging out, I very rarely do anything that's not putting me in a better situation. I'm listening to an audio book because I don't like to actually read. I just like to learn. But I love to learn, but I don't like to read. So It makes me sleepy looking at them words all day. But I'm listening to an audio book, and it got to be a self-help book, some kind of thing that's going to help me out. I'm not looking at reading no novels or nothing like that. A self-help book. I'm looking at YouTube videos to teach me something, some tutorial or something. I'm not letting no time go. I can't afford it. I very rarely watch TV. Very rarely. Regular TV. Because, I got a smart TV, so I look at YouTube on the TV. But just actual TV, my DVR is filling up with things that I might not get to no time soon. Because my time is very important to me. The time that I have, because I'm so family orientated, a lot of my time is my family. So whenever I'm not doing stuff for them or with them, I'm working on myself. You have to. 11 a.m., y'all see me right here. Now, I did miss one day because of sickness in the family and just, taking care of my family, doing what I got to do. But it been times that I was almost like, oh man, I can't right now because of this is going on. But you can't let that stop you. You got to keep pushing. You got to keep pushing. So you can't let nobody steal your time. Like they say, don't steal your joy. Don't let nobody steal your joy. It's the same thing. But time, time. You can't get it back, man. I know all of y'all had a time where somebody done gave time to somebody that didn't deserve it. That's kind of piggybacking off of yesterday. Yesterday we talked about how a woman being in a relationship, because that's where it started from, a woman being in a relationship with a guy because he has potential. And basically been with this person for years, whatever the case may be, and then kind of find out he's not worth anything and just wasted all her time in this dude. That's the last thing you want to do. Who wants to waste time? I know, see, this is the best way to put it because I know y'all know this one. Everybody know that. Everybody know about a relationship where they felt like, yo, that was a waste of time. Good morning. That this was a waste of time. Like, yo, I spent all these years, or even if it's months, spent all these months with this person, and they wasn't worth the time of day. They wasn't worth a minute of my time, and I gave them months. Your time is very important, and that goes with everything in life. So if it's a relationship, a job, a career, because a lot of people go to have a job that they hate. They get up every day and go to this job that they hate because you got to put money in the bank. You got to take care of your family. You got to put food on the table. That's all understood. But if you actually have something that you love, why not put a lot of time into that as well so you can slowly get out of that job? Don't waste your time. The job should be a stepping stone, whatever you want to say it, to get to where you actually want to be at. I'm not going to waste my time. I've done that in the past, and I'm not wasting my time trying to work for somebody or do a job that I just don't like. I don't like it. You're not going to be happy. It's all about being happy. That's all it's about. The whole life is about being happy. You're born. It's to be happy. You live, be happy, and then you die. It's not a lot of time in the middle. There's not a lot of time from living and dying. It's not a lot of time. We gotta be happy in the time that we got. And if you have somebody wasting your time, or you're allowing people to waste your time, then something's wrong. You're not going to be happy. So you have to step up, make a schedule, say, well, listen, I'm going to do this in the morning. I really got to revamp mine. But to get up in the morning, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do that. And then I can probably rest for a little while. Then I got to do this and do that and do that and do that. You have to make a schedule to make sure that you put everything in order and prioritize what's more important, because you're never going to get that time back. I got to actually switch mine up to wake up earlier. Steve Harvey said he only sleeps for about 4 to 5 hours tops, because time is very important. You got to if you really want something, you got to push, and you have to sacrifice. You have to sacrifice time, sleep, TV, everything, all these things that you want to do for something that you need to do. But if you want to really get somewhere, let's just say you're an artist, you like to sing, but you working at McDonald's, you should be using that time to stack bread, either get your own equipment so you can record yourself at home so you don't have to pay for a recording studio. YouTube will show you all of these things. YouTube will show you everything you need to know to record yourself. So you don't really need to go to record a studio. But while you're working at McDonald's, instead of going to get them bundles, instead of going to buy weed, instead of going to buy that bottle, instead of going to buy red bottoms off a McDonald's check, go get you some studio equipment, do what you got to do, and then start putting your music out while you're still working at McDonald's. Because that's going to be the stepping stone. While you're still working here, be working on your music. Start putting it out there until you can start making some money. These streaming things now are so easy that you can make money every time somebody listens to your music. Yes, it's not going to be as much as you would make at McDonald's right away. But as you keep going and keep getting some notoriety, it can be way more than that. Then from that, you can sell t-shirts when you start getting a little fan base. Start getting t-shirts up, selling that too, and that's more money coming in. Sooner or later, you'll be making more than McDonald's. Then you can leave McDonald's alone, because that's not where your time should be focused on. Only reason why you focusing on that is to get your money to get out of there. It's all about being happy. If you're working at a job that you don't like, you're not going to do the best job. You're not going to like it. You're not going to be happy. Every day you're going to be pissed off. And those are the people that I don't like. I know y'all see it. Good morning. I know y'all see it. You go to McDonald's and the cashier got an attitude. Quit. What you got an attitude for? Just quit. If you don't like it, you don't like being here, quit your job. Find something that you like. Why give me a bad experience? And now I got to worry about if my food is right. Give me a bad experience because you don't like your job. Quit your job. Quit your job. It don't make sense being in a job when you're unhappy. You're not going to do the best job, and then you start doing things that you have no business doing because you're upset. I know y'all seen videos. Recently I watched a video of a girl wiping the bread on the floor in the back of the restaurant to give to somebody. For what? Because you don't like your job? Because you angry with your job? Now I gotta be eating stuff off the floor that I paid for? Come on. And it's the same thing. If that same person went somewhere, she would want better service. She would want good service. Why? Because that's your job. If you chose that job, you filled out an application, you should do what you gotta do. But if it's a reason, if the only reason why you got that job is to pay your bills, put food on your table, put clothes on your children back, pay your rent and all that, that's great. But that's the only reason, you should not make that your last stand. You should push on. You should push on and use the money to do something else. You can save a little piece here, piece here, piece here. I went to school, and the money that I got back from school, I bought music equipment. I wasn't even in music school. I bought music equipment because I knew what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to work with artists and record them and all that. And I knew that sooner or later down the line, I wanted to do sort of a podcast or something. So I bought the equipment. paid my bills, doing whatever check they gave me, and whatever I was working at the time, little odd jobs here and there. Here go a little bit of money, here go a little bit of money. Then I found a place where I could get the products with one down payment and just pay while I got it. Oh, that's even better. But you got to look for things that's going to help you out. So that little bit of time that you there, feeling like you're wasting it, you got to make the best of it. Time is very important. You have to make the best of all the time that you get. It's only 24 hours in a day. Most people try to get that 8 hours of sleep. That already dropped you down to 16 hours. Now you're going to work for 8 hours. That's another, now there's 8 hours left. For that next 8 hours, just say, depending on where you work at, an hour to 2 hours transportation. 18. That's 18 hours gone out your day. You didn't eat yet. You didn't chill with your kids. You didn't do anything else yet. And if you're a single mother, you got to go home and cook. Single parent, period. You got to go home and cook for your kids. That might be another hour depending on what you're making. 19. You got 5 hours left in your day. What you doing with it? What you doing with that 5 hours? That 5 hours should be put to the best use ever, because you're not going to get it back. And if you just sit there and chill, yes, everybody need that chill time. Everybody need that time to be like, yo, listen, I'm going to sit down. I'm dead tired. For this amount of time, I'm just going to chill. I'm going to watch TV. Watch a show, 1 hour, 2 hours, maybe, depending on what shows that you watch. You might got 2 of them, and you're going to watch 2 shows. That dropped you down to 3 hours left. It's really not enough time in a day for you to be out here bullshitting. Just to be frank. You know what I mean? You can't be BSing because there's not enough time in a day. After you break it down like that, like for real, what time do you have to do anything? When I used to work construction, on my lunch break, I was reading. I was reading on my lunch break because I'm like, okay, I do like working this hard work. It make me feel good and give me a little exercise at the same time. But over the years, how much is this going to put wear and tear on my body? And then I'm not going to be able to do nothing later on because I'm hurt up. And I've seen people when I go to the union hall, and I've seen people in the union hall looking like, oh my gosh, like they about to go in a minute. Can't walk right, sitting down, can't breathe because they don't work. There's some asbestos, all type of stuff. Like I'm like, yo, I don't want to be like that when I get 50 and all that. So I started reading. Lunch break, I'm reading. Every job that I have, DB, what's up? Every job that I have, I find some way to try to learn at the same time. I go look at my phone, especially now. Now is the best time. If you don't have nothing going on for yourself right now in this day and age of technology, if you don't have nothing going on for yourself right now, you just lazy and ain't even trying to do nothing. You don't want nothing for yourself because the internet will show you everything that you want to do. Everything. I'm looking at videos the other day about it's this dude Rob Level, and he got a YouTube channel basically called Smart Rapper. He got a website and all that, smartrapper.com. And I'm driving, so I just got the videos going while I'm driving, and one come up talking about starting a record label. Now, this is something, I actually heard this video. I've actually listened to this video before, so it wasn't new to me, but just, when you hear it again, you might hear a couple of other things as, that's like, oh, I missed that last time. So, like I said, I'm listening to this, and he talking about how to start a record label. And I'm like, that's so quick and easy, what he just said, how to do it. So, if that was something that I wanted to do, I just got all the information in less than 5 minutes. I got all the information I needed in 5 minutes. And he actually went through the forms on the site, on the YouTube video. He went through all the steps, showed you the site, went through all the filing information, showed you everything you have to do just to get your business started. So whatever it is that you want to do, the time is now. The time is now. And having the internet is the best resource other than your time right now. Your time is the most important resource. I would say the internet is the next best thing because you can find all the information you want right here on the internet. Yes, you should spend all your time wisely. Everything that you do should be calculated. It should be calculated. This is what I'm going to do. This is why I'm doing it. Because I want this result. You shouldn't waste no time. Time waits for nobody. You sitting there chilling, and then, God forbid, the next day, you're dead. And if you could reflect after death, what would be your thoughts? Like, dang, I should have did this. I should have did that. Good morning, Mom. I should have did this. I should have did that. I don't want to be one of those people, even though, I'd be dead, so it wouldn't matter to me anymore. But I didn't leave anything for my kids. I didn't leave, even if I just left the foundation for them. If I just left the foundation for them to build on, I'd be great. You know what I mean? Like, again, I wouldn't know, but it'd be much better. I would want to have that before I go. At least build the foundation so it'd be easier for them. And that's what we should do. All of us should make it better. It is a good platform to do anything. What is it that you want to do in life? Anything. Just anything you want to do. If, believe it or not, if you wanted to be a doctor, of course, far as that, you would have to go to school because that's how that thing goes. You have to go to school to be a doctor. But in order to learn everything that you need to learn to become a doctor, you don't need to go to school. You go on the internet. You read books. You can watch videos on surgeries. You go and they show you step by step. So if it was to the point where schools was obsolete, people could still have careers. But it's certain careers and certain jobs that you have to go to school to do in order to be certified to be able to practice what you learn. But if you was just somebody that lived out in the backwoods and you didn't want to be in society, you was off the grid, and a family member was hurt, you can really look online and find out how to fix them. Yes, it would cost some money because you got to go find all these things and everything, but you don't need to go to school for nothing anymore. Like I said before, I got my bachelor's in organizational management to learn how to run a business. I was going for my master's, but a lot of things that I've learned already is what they're teaching. I already know it. So it's like, why waste another $100,000 in school loans and all that, be in debt, just to learn something I could learn online? And experience. Once you learn the majority of it, the basics, you hop in and you learn the rest on the fly while you're going along with it. Learn as you go. The dude, what's his name? I forgot his name, but the dude that started Wendy's. He ain't even finished high school. He didn't go to college. And Wendy's is how big now? There's Wendy's everywhere. He didn't go to school to learn about business. He said, I'm going to make these burgers and I'm going to make it happen. And he did. There's a lot of businesses out here that started from people that didn't even finish school. There are $1 million businesses right now ran by 12-year-olds. So an adult shouldn't have an excuse. An adult shouldn't have an excuse. If a 12-year-old can come up with an idea and then act on it and then make millions of dollars from it and have employees and everything, what's your excuse? Good morning, Ty. What's your excuse? I don't understand. I'm not a millionaire. I'm not making thousands of dollars every day and all that. But every day I'm working towards that. Every day. Every single day. I'm working towards that. It's not a day that I don't learn something that's going to start putting me towards that direction. Now, I got some things in play right now. That's going to start generating decent money. Now, right now, it ain't nowhere near I want it to be. But if you keep putting your time in, it's going to happen. I agree with that. Sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know. I agree with that 100%. But in a lot of cases, if you know enough, you'll be put around people that actually can put you, now you got the who too. You know what I mean? You got the what, you already know what you already got what you know. Now, is that because you are this person and you this smart and you got this much information, you can get around the who's. Because there's a lot of jobs where it's like favoritism, nepotism, and all this stuff. You know what I mean? Everybody like, well, listen, this is my cousin, so that's why he got the job. This is my so-and-so, that's why this person got the job. This is such and such and such, that's why they got the job. And all of us seen that. All of us went for a job that we didn't get because somebody else got the job that was a family member or got promoted because they was a family member or whatever the case may be. Excuse me. But it is who you know, but at the same time, what you know can get you in front of the who's. So I would say never stop learning. Never stop learning. I'm going to keep talking about that because that is the main focus. If you keep learning, you will be in a situation where you can get in front of the who's. It ain't going to be just what no more, what you know. Because the who's are going to come if they see that if you could provide value for them. If you know enough, they coming. Because they like, yo, this person right here is smart right here. They got this right here. In their mind is, I'm going to use them because they could get us some more money. They're going to get us some more money. So let me come over here. That's how a lot of these rappers and stuff get endorsements. That's how these rappers get endorsements. That's how basketball players get endorsements. That's how football players get endorsements. Because they said this person is popular. If I put this person in my commercial, I can make more money because people going to follow this person. The people that's following this person going to now follow me. And it's the same thing with social media. If you got a YouTube page, and that's why you see a lot of these collabs where they Storm is with what's his name, King Bash. They all doing videos together. So now his followers are now my followers. His followers, my followers, his followers. Everybody's sharing them followers now. So now I got more subscribers. That means I'm going to get more views. And that means I'm going to make more money. So if you continue to learn and put yourself out there and make yourself known, the money is going to come because people want to use you to make money. People are going to use you to make money. You got to keep learning. I give myself a minimum of an hour, and that's really cheating myself. But I give myself a minimum of an hour every day to learn something new. every day. Even if it's just words. Learn different words every day. Yeah, I see you late, but better late than never. But even if it's just words, you can learn something. Now, and I did not try to use them words, even though some of them don't fit sometimes, you know what I mean? So I don't use them. But whenever I get a chance to use the word, I'm going to use it. And I know y'all probably heard some of them in the podcast, because like I said, I'm going to use it. So you have to keep learning. What I got from a lot of books that I've read. Thank you. I sure am going to keep up with the greatest. We all come from greatness, so we got to keep pushing. But one thing I learned from all the books that I read, I say read, but you know what I mean, audio books. But I did read some of them. But from all the books that I've read and interviews from famous people and successful people, seminars and all the stuff that I be doing, one thing I learned is that if you want to be successful, you have to keep learning. And most successful people read more than 100 books a year. That's a lot of books. 100 books a year. I'm nowhere near that. Nowhere near that. But it was to a point where I was doing 2 a month. And I'm trying to get back to that. The minimum of 2 a month. To me, that's decent. Especially for a person that don't like to read. You know what I mean? I love to learn, but I hate to read. That it always make me go to sleep. So that's why I started dealing with audio books. Yeah, retargeting, pay-per-click, all of that. See, you better be on your way to be making some money, because you got a little information over there. It's all about, like Tasha said, it's all about who you know. A lot of times they don't count, really. They don't count, because of the fact that most of them books, now reading is reading, and it keeps your brain sharp. So yes, it do count in a way. But far as developing yourself to do better, to me, is no good. But just throw in a self-help book or autobiography on somebody that's successful every now and then you be on the right track. But I try to read as much as possible, and I'm going to get back to my 2 a month. I used to do it for a while, and I put out a challenge trying to get people to jump on it with me. Oh yeah, I'm looking for that book myself. But I got to get back to it. Because it is who you know. But what you know will put you in front of the who's. So gotta continue to learn, and then let people know that you learn. You know what I mean? Let people know that you actually know something. You see, like I'm doing right now. I'm doing a podcast. I'm basically sharing information that I have. Now, y'all are all, hopefully, I'm not going to say y'all are, but hopefully that y'all actually learn stuff that I'm talking about. Y'all learning from what I'm saying. So if y'all learning, then I'm doing a good job. Y'all learning something. I'm adding value to y'all. I'm getting information from y'all. When y'all say stuff, I'm learning. So we share it. We sharing knowledge, and that's going to help all of us grow. And once we get to a certain level, people going to see that. And I really push everybody. If you have knowledge like this, even if you're not doing a podcast or doing anything like that, share it. Share it with somebody. Talk to young people. Let them know that this is what you need. I love the fact that I had children to practice on, to teach stuff to, and see if they pick up on it. One thing that I advise everybody to do too, Teach your kids about finances. Teach your kids about how credit cards work, how to build their credit, because that is very important. That is very important. So, however it is, you have to use your time wisely. You got to use it wisely. Either you learn it or you teach it. And you're going to learn by teaching, because the more you teach, the more it gets embedded in your head. So, you got to keep pushing. Yeah, you taking new information all day, every day. Believe it or not, you ever notice like you learn a word and you might have just heard it one time, and then you go and look it up and you see the definition and you like, oh, okay. Now every day you hear that word. All day, every day you're hearing that word. And you like, yo, I did not even recognize this word. This word was never I never noticed it any other time. But now since I've learned it, now I'm hearing it all the time. Good morning. And it's just crazy. Yeah, you got to learn all the time. Well, I'm never going to give up. I got to keep pushing. I got too much things to do. Yeah, because schools are not teaching your kids about finances. They might teach them about how to do their books in a business, but it's never personal finances. And that's what we really need. We need to be on the personal finances. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do what you gotta do. You have to still do what you gotta do. But at the same time, when you do have time, free time, when you're not doing your chores and handling stuff around the house, you have to be learning something. You got to teach your kids, because schools ain't teaching your kids about them finances, budgeting, all of that stuff, everything. All of that is very important. All of that is important. And the schools teach kids how to pass tests, how to get to the next grade. They're not really teaching them, really. They're really not. They're teaching them how to memorize. How to memorize so when the tests come, you can pass the test. They're not teaching them how to really absorb the information. And that's why some colleges, I love the fact that it's really about critical thinking. You have to think deeper. If you just sit there and just take everything for face value, you're not really learning. You have to dig deeper and find out what it is, and that's going to take some time too. But it's using it wisely. You're going to learn something. Now that's embedded, and hopefully it's going to make you want to learn more about it. I know I always end up in what they say, the rabbit hole. I start with one thing, and I'm like, oh, okay. Now I'm in the next thing, the lead. Now before I know it, I done looked at 32 videos on real estate or music or something. I'm always get stuck after I read one, like, oh, that was really good. Let me see about this one. Do that match with this? And I put it all together, and then now I know a lot of stuff to start doing what I need to do. See what I'm saying? You gotta do it. That's perfect. At the same time, you give them their bank accounts, you have them credit cards and all that stuff, and then you teach them this is what you got to do, because once your credit is done, you got a hard road to get it back. You got a hard road to get it back. So you teach them, well, listen, this is how this goes, this is how this goes, and if you do this, it's going to mess up your credit and give you a hard time of getting this or whatever the case may be. A lot of us get messed up with school loans. A lot of us get messed up with school loans. And this is what pulled me to the point where I don't feel like it's that necessary after you get to a certain point. like I told my kids, finish high school. If you decide to go to college, that is great. But you're going to do something. You're going to learn some more stuff. You don't have to actually go to college, but you're going to do something. You're not going to be, especially if you're still in my house, you're not going to be just sitting around and all that. You got to keep going. You got to keep going. Me and my wife, both of us got our bachelor's and some master's credits. Both of us went to school for our master's and well, I just stopped. Her school dropped the program. So it's so much. It's so much that you could do, but at the same time, I don't want to be bombarded with school loans and have that stress on your head. If you don't have to have that stress, don't do it. If you don't have to have that, don't do it. And it's a lot of ways to get to it without going to school. Especially now. The internet is bananas. I love the internet. I love the internet. My wife always like, yo, you always on your phone. You always on your phone. But if she look over there, I'm Googling. I'm doing this. I'm looking at the analytics of my podcast. I'm looking at the analytics of my YouTube, my Facebook, my Instagram. I'm looking at how many people checked in today, how many likes I got, how many did this, what, or which video was better, which one was this. I'm in there because this is what's going to make me build better. If you can measure it, you can make it better. So if I'm looking at, okay, I have just throwing numbers, I have 1,500 just say 1,500 followers on Instagram. 900 of them are from New York. You know what I mean? 300 from LA. Let me just break it down little numbers. I should focus more on New York people because most of my demographics is New York. So I should make content that will cater to people from New York. That's how them analytics work. And if you understand these things, you'll be able to really do something. The internet is great. That's why I was trying to switch my podcast over to my business page because the analytics is more deep on there. Yeah, the loans are crazy. The loans are crazy. It all depends on what are you trying to do. What are you trying to do? What kind of career are you trying to reach? If you look at the career that you're trying to reach, just say, like I was using the fact of being a singer. You know you don't really have to go to school for that. You don't have to go to school to be an artist. Now, I went to school for audio and sound engineering. So I could know how to record in the studio, how to run a studio. So I went to school for that. Now I'm certified, you know what I mean, everything for that. But I really didn't have to do that. I learned that after the fact and another $10,000. That I really didn't have to take out loans and spend that money on this because of the fact that the same thing that I've learned in school, I got a better explanation on YouTube. I learned more from this dude named Wavy Wayne on YouTube than I've learned for the whole 9 months of school that I went to school with. And I only looked at him for the last maybe 6 months. So from the 6 months of looking at his videos, I've learned more than I learned in school for 6 hours a day in school and $10,000 later. I learned more in that little bit of time. So you don't really need to go to school. It depends on what you're trying to do. Now, if you're trying to do anything far as, like my son is going to school for law. If he want to be a lawyer, yes, he has to go to school because that's the requirements. Once you determine what you want to do, find out the requirements, and then you determine if I really need to go to school. If you don't have to get them student loans, I advise you not to. I advise you not to because the internet has everything you need. Everything. Exactly. I missed yours for a minute, Sean, but they do teach you how to regurgitate, how to basically just repeat what you learned. It ain't nothing about actually learning something. And this is why you learn on your own. And that's why I like, I went to College of New Rochelle on Fulton Street in the Restoration. All my Brooklyn people know what I'm talking about. I went to the College of New Rochelle I actually went there to try to go for business, but they didn't have business, so I took communication. And I think I did one semester because I'm like, this ain't what I want. I want business. I don't want communication. But I said, I'll take it because I'm not a live speaker. I'm not a person that talks in front of crowds. So maybe this communication class will help me break that barrier. Because that's what it's all about. Trying to get past anything that can hold you back. You got to keep pushing. So I went to school for that. And they really pushed you learning. They really pushed. And the crazy guy, because I'm like, okay, it's a Catholic school. But they really pushed for Black history, African American studies. They really pushed that, and it surprised me. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, this is crazy that they push it so much, and they made me want to go to the school. But like I said, that wasn't what I wanted to do, so it wasn't really appealing to me. It wasn't really appealing to me, so I was like, okay, this ain't what I'm going to leave and do what I want to do. Like I said, I went to school for music, got my bachelor's for organizational management because I don't want to work for anybody. So you got to find out what you want to do and then push for it. Oh, it's basically just like time is your most important resource and you shouldn't waste it. Basically what the topic is. It's all about time. And just going off of all the things that I've been saying lately is just basically saying that these are the things that you should be doing to utilize your time. You should not let nobody else take your time. Yo, come meet here, come meet here. No, you got. If you want to get somewhere, you're gonna have to stop going to these places with these people and doing things that they want to do. You have to set your time and do what you gotta do. Exactly, Geneva. This is one of the things that I don't like about school. If I'm going to school for music, don't teach me English. If I'm going to school to be a mathematician, to be a math teacher, why are you teaching me science? Now, sometimes math and science goes together because in science you have to do math in order to figure out formulas and stuff like that. But what's the reason? What's the reason? Don't give me all this. I went to school I done went everywhere to try to really find out exactly what I wanted to do growing up. I wanted to be an electronic engineer. I wanted to be able to build computers and do stuff like that, so I went to school for that. And I've learned a lot. You know what I mean? But while I was learning electronics, I'm failing at English because that's not what I want. I don't care about Shakespeare. I don't care about Shakespeare. Why is that even in the curriculum anywhere? How is that helping you live? Yes, it keeps you balanced. Now you know some of this and you know some of that. But how is that going to help me get a job? Art thou and all that ain't getting me no job. They ain't getting me no job. And then I got to struggle on how to even read this stuff. So that's not important to me. That's why I do a lot of studying on my own. And from College of New Rochelle and AIU, where I got my audio engineering certification from, the professors tell you something and then tell you, go find out the rest. Excuse me. And that's how I learned more. Because it's like, okay, even though they should have been teaching me more because I'm paying my money. But if you go out there and learn on your own, especially if you're one of them people like me, I learn better by myself. And just, okay, hands on and constantly doing it by myself. Classes be so quick. You only got a certain amount of time, so you got to put everything in here. You're not learning nothing because you got to try to put everything in this little bit of time, little bit of time, little bit of time. You're not really getting it because like, oh, okay, what did you say just? And the teacher, oh, well, I'm already past that, so we got to go on. How you learning? Yeah, it goes together. I wanna go back to get my master's. I do. I want to go back to get my master's because another thing I said I was going to be when I grow up, I said somebody's going to call me Dr. Kit. So get my PhD. And I'm sitting here like, okay, I got my bachelor's. I started my master's. And but my heart is in music and my heart is in what I'm doing right now. This type of stuff. I love to entertain. I love to help people. So how can I do that at the same time? I'm doing this and I'll be able to record people and work with artists and teach artists the stuff that I know. Or anybody for that matter, because business is business. It's just how you manipulate it to work with whatever you're trying to do. So most of my time I put most of my time into learning. If I'm not dealing with family, I'm learning. Guarantee you'll always catch me learning. I go over to my mother-in-law, my brother-in-law house rather, and everybody's chilling, partying, whatever. I got headphones looking at YouTube videos with a drink in my hand, but I'm looking at YouTube videos. You know what I mean? So I'm still part of the party, but I'm learning. I can't not learn. It really bothers me when people don't try to keep pushing. You never can learn enough. You gotta learn every day. It's always gonna be something else to learn. It's always. Yeah, going back to school, man. Whew. Right now, I'm trying to knock off all of this school money that I gotta pay back. Jobs look at this, credit look at this, and student loans is one of the only things that you cannot get rid of if you go bankrupt. Student loans don't leave. So even if you file for bankruptcy and they cut up all your credit cards, you do all this stuff, you still owe your student loans. That's crazy. First of all, in a lot of other countries like India and the UK and all that, some of those countries, the first 4 years is free. You get your bachelor's for free. America is like one of the only countries that want to capitalize on somebody learning because they want to limit how many people can learn it. They want to limit how many people is going to get smart and make that money. They want to keep certain amount of people rich. They don't want everybody to be rich because everybody. That's why you like, hey, why all my doctors are Chinese and Indian? Because they got that school for free. They got that school for free. I could be a doctor for free. I'm going to be a doctor. A medical doctor. So America want to capitalize off of people learning. A lot of medical is free in these countries too. You don't even got to pay for your doctor. It's crazy. But America want that money. And that's why one of the things is you'll never get rid of is student loans. You know why school is easier as an adult? Because you're more focused and you know what you got to do. As a child, you're like, man, listen, I could be playing video games. I could be doing this. This is a waste of my time. Why do I have to come here? Wasting my time. You know what I could be doing right now? Nah. After your first 4 years, you don't get Pell or any of that. You don't get Pell Grants and all the tap and Pell and all that. They don't. It's all about student loans after that. And because of my situation, it was I done went to two other colleges where I used up some of my financial aid. So when I got to when I got to this school to do my bachelor's, yes, they transferred my credits over, and I was good with the credits. So when I started my bachelor's, I was already in my second year because of all the credits I got from other schools. So I was already in my sophomore year when I started. But you don't continue to get that money if you use some of that money in your other schools when you come in. Okay, you already used that money, so you're only getting this, and you got to take out loans for this. Man, like I said, I'm not. How you doing, Valerie? I'm not going to waste any more money. If I go to school again, if I go to school again, I already got it set where I'm going, and I got to make sure that I'm sitting in a classroom because I got my bachelor's online. I went to Ashford University online, and yeah, it was all right, but to me it was easy, and that you don't get the interaction like you should do in school to actually learn better. So I'd rather go inside of school and sit down, but I need time for that. So I don't see it happening no time soon because I got too many other things on my mind. And like I said, you can learn almost anything online. I got the basics of doing your books, your business, and all that, running your books and doing your taxes and all that. I got the basics from that, from school, knowing how to report on your taxes and all that. The rest I got from online because I already knew, okay, this is this, this is that, this is that. Okay, now how do you do this? Look online and the people show you step by step how to do your paperwork. Tell her I said what's up. Yeah. If you can find a job that got tuition assistance, that's great. But a lot of people don't have that. A lot of jobs don't give that. So what do you do when you don't have them kind of situations? You got to pay that bread or don't go at all. I chose not to go back because I don't want to put more burden on the family or myself for that matter, because I truly don't even want to have to work for somebody else. Now, I feel if I'm going to school, I'm going to have to do something else because I'm not going to be able to be creative and do what I do to try to make money like I'm doing right now with this podcast. I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm not going to be able to do all of this or be able to be there for my family like I am now. Right now, if my wife was to say, I'm not feeling good at work, I really need to come home, I can get in the car and go get her. I don't have to be like, okay, try to find a way or you know what I mean? I love the freedom. And that's what we all should be pushing for. To be free, to be able to work for ourselves and to be able to provide for our families and be there with our families at the same time. And not be wasting so much time. Because time is really important, and especially for kids. You got young kids, that time is important. You have to make the best out of your time. There's a lot of people that work, saying, yo, I'm doing this for my kids. I got to make sure I put food on the table. I got to make sure I do this. I got to make sure I do that. Yes, that's all great. But what time are you giving your kids? They need you too. They don't just need stuff. You know what I mean? They need you. And that's like a lot of fathers too. I actually did a presentation at my boys' school because, again, I'm the PTA president. But I did a presentation at the school with all the fathers from the school, basically talking about how important the father is to the household. That's going to be a topic coming soon, but just a quick recap on that real quick. But the time that you put into your kids, the time that you sit there and you work with them, teach them, even if it's just tying a shoe or reading a book to them, playing a game or doing something, even if you don't like it. Go outside, kick the ball around. All that stuff is very important to the kids. That's time. This is what this topic is about. Time is your most important resource. You can never get that time back. Now you sitting there working, but you're not putting no time in your kids. They feel that. What, you don't love me to spend time with me, all that. It's sad to say, but a lot of people, especially like rich people, you wondering why the kids done grew up and killed them. It's crazy. Kids done grew up, killed them. Kids done grew up and hate them, and all that stuff. You never spent time with me. Yes, you brought me a car. You brought me this. You brought me that. But when did you show me that you actually love me? That time is important, and that's with everything. Time is so important. So when you sit down and you try to manage that time, you got to fit mostly everything in that better time. It's only 24 hours a day. Break it down again real quick, like I did earlier. 24 hours in a day. You're working for 8 of them. Transportation, probably 2 hours. That's 10 hours going out your day already. You only got 14 left. You might sleep for 8, depending on who you are and everything. Just say you sleep. I'm gonna take it down some. 5. That's 15 hours. No, I mean that's 19 hours because I said 4 hours. It's 8 hours working, 2 hours transportation. That's 10. Then your 5 hours of sleep. I'm gonna give you 5 because a lot of us don't get 8. Because we got too much other stuff going on. A lot of us don't get 8. So that's 15 hours gone. That's 15 hours gone already. So now what? Now what you gonna do? Then you come home. You gotta cook. You gotta feed your family. You're tired, so you're watching TV, whatever the case. You gotta sit down, relax, and get yourself back together. You done missed another 3 hours. What are you doing? What you gonna do with the rest of that time? That time is important. You gotta do something with it. You gotta sit there and spend time with your kids. Like I said, there's so much other things that's gonna take your time. So whenever you got it, you gotta make the best of it. You got to. Once you break it down, you're like, yo, it's really not enough minutes or hours in a day. It's not enough time in a day to get everything done. So whenever you do have that time, you got to make the best of it. Got to. And I'm learning. Whenever I got free time, I'm learning. Because I want to get to the point where I have more free time. Because if I get to the point where I'm making money while I sleep, I don't need the 8-hour job. I don't need the 8-hour job if I'm making money while I sleep. You understand what I'm saying? So that's more time that I can spend with my family. That's more time that I could go on vacation. That's more time that anything. If I just want to watch TV all day, I could because I'm still making money. I don't have to be at that job. You know what I mean? Yeah. Exactly, Sean. It's like you don't spend time with your kids. You don't know how they're gonna turn out. Who you got raising them. Like a lot of people come home. I understand that you're tired. I really understand that you're tired. But that's like I talked about in the presentation to the fathers at the school. I know you're tired because you're doing everything that you do to make sure your family is straight. But when you come home, you have to put some of that time into your kids. Even if it's for 1 hour a day. Because most of the time, if you're coming home from a 9 to 5, and just say you did have that hour of transportation time to get home. So now it's 6 o'clock at night. Most likely, if your kids are young, they're going to bed 7:30, 8 o'clock. That's only an hour and a half to 2 hours in between. So if you give them one of them hours, what are you really losing? You're not losing much because they're going to be in bed soon. And then anything after that, you can relax. You just got to know how to manage your time. And when you talk about the statistics of all of that, it's crazy of how it affects kids. It's crazy. And I like I said, I had to do a whole presentation in front of all the fathers of the school, and it bothered me even to start it, to even do the research for it. So I'm like, wow, I didn't know how much it is. Time is very important to any situation. Time is very important. It's your best resource, your most important resource. Do not waste it for nobody or no thing. You know what I mean? Don't do it. You have to manage it better so that you get the most out of it. Don't let no job hold you back. If you do have a job that you need, keep working that job. But use that bread that you get, any extras. Don't go buy that bottle. Don't go buy that ounce of weed. Don't go buy them red bottoms. I know you look fly. Don't go buy them bundles. Go put that money to the side. Start you a business. Start making that money. If anybody likes to shop, you should know how to sell. Get you a Shopify. Put you some products up there that you don't have to pay for. You don't have to have inventory, because Shopify works with people that drop ship for you. So you don't even have to have nothing in your house. You don't have to have anything. You never have to even buy anything. You just put it on your site. And when they make money, the people take their money and they send you the rest. They send you the profit. You could just do that. You know what I mean? You don't have to use no money to do it. But you might have to use money maybe for Facebook ads or something like that to try to get people towards your site. But that's all you really going to have to spend money for, $30 a month. Instead of buying that bottle, put it on that, $30 a month. And you get a couple of 1,000 people, 1,500 to 2,000 people looking at that same ad that you put out. People that don't know you. So it's all about the time. If you're gonna be at a job that you need, you gotta have that job no matter what. Still work that job, but put your other time to other things. Learn something different. Learn another way to get out of your rut. Don't stand around and wait, because what's going to happen? If you don't do something with your time, somebody else will. Somebody else will. And most of the time when somebody else do something with your time, it's not going to work. Poshmark, I never heard of that. What is that exactly? Because I might have to look into it and see how I could do something, whatever that is. What is Poshmark? Explain that to me. And if anybody else have any other ideas to help people that's in this podcast get more time, drop it in the comments. Okay, you made 3 sales. I'm going to look at that. I'm going to look at Poshmark. And like I said, it could be, even if you're making an extra $100 a month, that helps. And if you constantly push it, you can make more. More that you advertise, the more people you get in the front of, it's possibility to make more. And then once you get to a point where you're making more than the job that you working at, you can leave your job. Or you can stack some more to get to a better position to add more value to this new business that you started, and then leave your job, because then you have stuff stacked behind you to hold you up. You have money stacked behind you to hold you up. So now you just doing what you're doing, and you don't have to feel like, oh man, what if I don't have this money to pay my rent? Because you have it. You put it to the side already. So it's all about using your time wisely. It's all about using your time wisely. And it's crazy how I'm talking about using my time wisely, and I always go over time with this podcast, is because I love sharing information. I love trying to help other people, and it makes me feel good to do it. So, you know how they say, time flies when you're having fun. And I really enjoy talking to all of y'all and getting feedback from y'all and actually learning from y'all as well. So it all works out for me. See what I'm saying? It's that easy. And eBay and Amazon, all of this, dude, you can sell things on Amazon. If you got products, you can sell things on Amazon. I just learned that if you find you a drop shipping company, a company that drop ships, you can put the products on Amazon. Because if you buy anything from Amazon, you can see that it's independent people that's selling these things. It's not actually Amazon selling these things. It's people got their stores up on Amazon. So when you look up a product, you be having this person, all different prices because there's different people selling things. And you put your information on there, put the product on there, the names and all that stuff, the descriptions and everything of the product. And when somebody buy it, you get the money right then and there. And then you send that money to the drop shipping company. And they ship off the product, and you keep the money that's left over. It's all about wholesaling. That's all it is. You wholesaling. And you can also do that with real estate, which that's another thing that I'm getting into. So, and that one's going to get it. That one's going to get it. I'm really digging deep into that one. I actually supposed to be going to a meeting tonight for real estate. They do it every Thursday, and I'm trying to see how I'm going to get there. Well, I could get there because I don't really have to do anything in the PM later on today. Today is one of my free nights. I'm always doing something. But again, like I said, whenever I got the time, I'm going to learn something. So I'm going to be going to a meeting to meet up with some investors and other real estate investors and people that do this all the time and see what they're talking about. Because if they could help me, they talking about join their team. As long as it ain't nothing you talking about pay $1,000 to join your team, we can work it out. Because if not, I'll be back on my YouTube videos. Well, I'm going to be on my YouTube videos anyway. But I'll be back on my YouTube videos trying to learn some more stuff. Because I'm going to get there. And hopefully I can bring a lot of y'all with me. Because I'm going to be filling y'all with all the information I learned. Hey, Reba, how you doing? But time is very important. Don't let anybody waste your time. That's relationships, that's business, that's your job, that's friends, that's family, that's anything. Don't let anybody or anything waste your time. Exactly. And that's also it's sort of like let go. That's what it sounds like. It's something like let go, where you can sell stuff out of your house. Like, okay, I don't even like this lamp no more. Let me put it on let go. And then somebody be like, oh, I'll buy that. And then you just make a little quick money. And that's great because it's full profit since it's been there for however long you had it. It already depreciated. So it don't really have no value to you anyway. So anything that you make off of it is a profit. Yeah, I'm going to look at Poshmark. I never heard of that. I'm going to look at it. Everybody else, look at Poshmark. Make that money. Get that money. Find a way to do something that you can make money in your sleep. And most of the time, it's something that you love already. I love to cook. I love to bake. I've been baking cakes for the last maybe 5 months. Matter of fact, before that, I was making plates before Thanksgiving. And now I'm baking cakes because, the seasons change. People want different stuff. Right now, I'm baking cakes like crazy. You know what I mean? So I do this. I bake cakes. I do music. Anything that's going to give me some money, I'm going to rock it. Now, trying to find the time for all of it is going to be a tricky situation. But me knowing how important time is, I'm going to find a way. So, with that being said, don't let nobody take your time from you. Don't let nobody waste your time. Don't you waste your time because time is too important to waste. You don't have that many hours in a day. Do something positive with it. Grow. And I would love to see all of y'all sitting on the beach with me, because I'm going to be there. Sitting on the beach with me, just chilling and just watching our phones ring up with money. All right? So, thanks again for showing up to the 38 Village podcast. Salute all of y'all. And like I said, we all come from greatness, so let's keep it going. Later for making America great again. Let's make our race great again. You know how we do.